2018, January 5, Friday. I'm Oatmeal Joey Arnold. This is my private diary. And last night I had a dream of Breaking Bad with an alternative ending where Walter White's wife, Skyler, she realized something about him, and she was happy in a way, and she was like willing to stay with him in everything that he had to do to help her and her son, instead of leaving like you saw in the show. Spoiler alert. And the one thing that she was saying near the end of my version in my dream was that Walter White was being too calm, and that he needs to not be calm. I am the one that knocks, you know, when danger knocks on the door, I'm the one that knocks. That's what he was saying in the show. And he was pretty calm, maybe too calm, and sometimes you need to let your emotions out to let people know what's going on. And guess that's all I remember, but basically something to do with those things, with her staying and thinking and telling him, you're too calm and you need to be more angry and let people know, or the right people to know, and everything, and in order to do it right. And that's about it, I guess. And I don't know if I can say anything more because I don't remember, but last night before I went to sleep, my dad was drunk and talking to Jamie Dodson in my house, like they do, like they've been doing for so many years. They've been friends for like 20 years or more. I don't know. Probably since the 1990s or so. So maybe 30 years, 20 or 30 years. But they've known each other and everything, worked together, lived together, like bosom buddies or something. I don't know, but not together, but right now it's in the same house. And last time it was at another house across the Pacific Avenue, back when my dad was kicked out. My mom kicked him out. It might have been around 2005 or 2007 for a while, and eventually he came back somehow and kicked her out. See, I had a restraining order on him after he threw a shelf onto my mom. The cops came and got him out, but that only lasted for like a year. And then in 2008 he was back or almost back, and he was telling my mom that he wouldn't pay rent until she got out. And then she got out with the help of her new man, and she married him. Later, a few years later, he died, and then my mom had to marry again, and that was not good, but then good that she was able to get another soulmate, or the first soulmate, I don't know, but I was just saying that these two people go back, my dad and it's good to have friends, but I tell you, the only thing closer is family. But my dad is insulting me, imagine if people are doing that to you, what would you think, kind of thing. It's one thing if you deserve it because you're a terrible person. If I'm fat, you don't really have to be nice to me. It's understandable if I'm lazy, if I'm this thing or that thing. If I deserve it, it's understandable not to say that insulting somebody or whatever is the right thing or the best thing. But it's understandable that you would do it in those circumstances. But imagine that you were not fat, you were not lazy, but people are doing that to you anyways. That's the situation that I feel I'm in. Like, for example, so we were working with Chinaman on Wednesday, like I said before, and you know, we went to Portland to the house, and we're moving boxes, and we're doing that in the morning for about two hours, and then we went to McDonald's in North Plains, and they were buying lunch for me and my dad, and they said, you know, get whatever you want, you know, kind of thing. When somebody invites you, I think it's okay to indulge a little bit. So I tried to order a salad, just a salad. That's the only thing I said. And I couldn't really see the menu, so I wasn't really like able to pick exactly which salad I wanted. I saw the menu, but it's very small. There's a lot of things on the item on the menu. A lot of items. Like, I just got back from being in Vietnam for 5 years, and I would always, you know, I went to McDonald's a lot because I had my classes, my English classes there, and the menu is a lot smaller in Saigon, Vietnam, and I'm used to the smaller menu, and so looking at the menu, not really sure what it's saying, not a lot of pictures. So I asked the register man, what kind of salads you have, what do they have? And he said, okay, we have this, we have that, we have this country western thing. So I was like, okay, let's go with that. And they gave me a really big salad. So my dad was telling me this, not telling me, but telling Jamie the story last night about that. And he was like saying in a very negative reflection that it was almost like I did it on purpose. He didn't say that, but he was basically implying and assuming that I was just out there to take advantage of people and to rip people off and scam people and just, you know, try to steal as much money as a robber, money or food or whatever, you know, take advantage of the time, and then they were waiting for me to eat all the food because there was so much food, and I ordered some small fries and orange juice too. Because I noticed that my dad ordered like 3 things, you know, a burger, fries, and a drink. So I thought I was gonna do it too. I was gonna do it, but then he did it, so then I was like, okay, let me have those 2 things too. And I look like I'm begging a little bit when I bite my lip. I'm like, ooh, or I'm a little bit like Livy or something, but I'm hesitating, especially when I go walk by some people. I stop talking, so I feel like I'm talking to myself when I'm just talking to a camera. That's video and everything. And now what I was talking about is not supposed to be a big deal, you would imagine. Right? I mean, think about that. I'm cold, and I'm losing my ability to talk. Oh, my mouth is a little bit dirty after eating some potato chips. Not potato chips, but like tortillas chips. And if I don't brush my teeth, and if I don't brush it enough, that could be a problem, so I need to do that more. But then I end up getting hungry and I eat, and you know, while I'm outside, and that's what I did right before I got here. I went outside. First I told my dad, yeah, I worked 2 hours at the Yellow House yesterday and Thursday, and because he was asking me on my way out. as he does sometimes. And then I was putting my rain jacket on, and I was eating some food on the porch, and so didn't brush my teeth. I brushed my teeth a little bit, but man, this is disgusting to talk about, you know, kind of thing. I kind of go through these spurts, these moments where I'm like, brush my teeth a lot for like a week, and then I stop for a while, and then I come back to it every once in a while whenever I feel like I need to. It really depends on what kind of toothpaste you have. You really want to have the good kind, but you don't want to have something with something like, what is it, chlorine or chloride? One of those, or maybe both of them, I don't remember. You know how they put like chlorine or chloride in the water, especially swimming pools. That's not so good, and that could be a problem. And you really just want to be healthy, so you want to eat things that are natural and stuff. That's a whole lot better for you. I'm missing the story. Probably should write it down, maybe. What I heard from my dad telling the story about me just eating too much food, you know, on my father's client's time and money and everything. That's what he's saying, and it's like my fault. Even though first he goes out of his way to praise me as he normally does, but he was doing a lot last night. That's the first thing he does. He tells my dad tells Jimmy about how I'm young and, you know, moving the boxes, going up the stairs like it's that Astoria columns. That's what he said to me too, in person at the time in Portland, Wednesday. But you know, he talks about that, but then later on he also says like, you know, I'm 32. I'm Oatmeal Joey Arnold. I'm 32. Was born in '85. It's 2018 right now. Like I said in the beginning of the video, and so I'm like in my prime. You know, everything like everything should be like better than butter. Like it should be like the rain in Spain is mostly plain. Let me try to get over the rainbow. Let me get to the other side of the fence where it's greener. I'm just trying to express myself and stuff through a little bit of a video. I'm still trying to figure these out. Making these online, making these videos to keep track of my life and try to, you know, let myself and let everybody know how I'm doing every day. Even if it doesn't matter, even if it's narcissistic or whatever, you know, like, thinks about himself, just wants to talk about himself. But I would argue and say, no, that's not what it is. But you could say, oh, I think it is. Like, that's all I can say. But regardless of that, I could see that it's easy to slur words and everything. They were accusing Trump of that. And it's easy if you're like talking like 10 hours a day, and that's what important people do, political people, all kinds of leaders and pastors and teachers and important people. They have to talk like a lot of hours a day. You can lose your voice. Alex Jones loses his voice. A lot of great people. You can talk really well, but after a while you start to slur it out and you can lose your voice. You can start to get a little rusty. Like Alex Jones, he talks like a little deep and a little rusty and raspy and stuff, like, hey, yeah, like a chain smoker, excuse me, but it can be difficult to get your words out. Now I'm trying to get my words out. I wanted to mention one story. I probably should start with this kind of confidence in the beginning, but usually when I start a video every day, I start out this like, hello, yeah, today, 2018, 1-5, Friday. I start out a little weak, and then sometimes I start to get a little bit strong, a little bit more confident stuff throughout the video, and at the end I might be shouting a little bit. And that might be good and great and entertaining and stuff, like Alex Jones, like some of the great people out there, some of the greatest people out there, greatest people that you ever want to live with, or I mean listen to. And you know, for the new right revolutionists, the patriots of the world, like Alex Jones, you want to listen to them because they're on fire, like some kind of pastor or something, like maybe a little bit better than who's Franklin Roosevelt? No, Billy's Jam. Billy's Jam. Billy Graham, excuse me. Billy's Jam. Billy's Jam had a jam and he became graham cracker. Man, he was like, that's why he was so famous. Everybody was like, bring me out the jam. They bring him out. They brought everybody out the graham crackers, and he became known as Billy the Wise Cracker, graham cracker. Billy the Wise Cracker. Billy the Wise graham cracker. That'd be great for a great story. I'm yambling. I'm ranting and venting and going off topic and stuff. Off topic. It's not hot topic, it's off topic. So, yeah, so I'm being a little bit more creative today. A little bit. I still want to talk a little bit. For the record, keep this, save this. I've been talking about my hard drive, and it's a 4 terabyte hard drive that I accidentally reformatted, erased, formatted, accidentally. I was trying to do it to another one to make you know, like a live CD to put an operating system on my computer, but I put it on that one instead, so I put it on the wrong external hard drive or thumb drive. It ended up going on there, and then I was like, oh no, because I had already had like data on it, like a terabyte or less. And I've been working on that since mid-December 2017. Been talking about it, and this morning, you know, I was still in the process, like all night, of like trying to figure out, you know, can I recover it? There's a couple different programs like Test Disk, and there's the G-Parted, and you know, I've talked about this. It's a little bit overwhelming when you try something, like, you know, just Google it and Google how to restore an erased hard drive. You know, I've been through it many times over the years, but it could be difficult. It could be pretty difficult, and I was getting to the point of thinking this morning, like, I'm just gonna forget about it, count my losses, kind of like what people say about my 44 tapes, my home videos that started out in '96 when I was almost 11 years old, with my family and friends, with the Power Rangers movie and everything. Like forget about trying to keep it or digitally remaster it like George Lucas and everything, like he did with Star Wars. And don't do that, or don't try to do that. You know, you gotta live life and everything, and to an extent that's true, but to what extent? Like, it's difficult to say, but I was kind of heading that direction, because I guess there's not a lot to lose in the 4 terabyte hard drive, because luckily I still have it. It was the spirit of the thought of trying to learn how to actually recover something and overcome a problem that I was focused on, and not just about the data that I was losing, because the data is not as important. I mean, unless if it's something very important, like, you know, like in my home videos, for example, pictures and stuff that doesn't have any copies anywhere else. If it's not already online, if other people don't have it, then it's one of a kind. It's, you know, like some kind of rare art that people pay thousands and thousands of dollars for. You know, imagine if you were to become very famous or something, and then you had some stuff, you know, that'd probably be worth a lot of money. And I kind of feel like I'm in that position. Oh, it's all about you. You think you're gonna be famous and stuff, huh? You know, I was like, maybe, I don't know. But if people want me to, you know, kind of thing. You can't really decide. Fame comes at people sometimes randomly, and it happens sometimes. But unexpected for some people. It's kind of like winning the lottery, but then you don't know how to handle it. And some people, or a lot of people, don't know how to handle it, and they become bankrupt in a week or a year or something. They get into all these kinds of problems and stuff because they spend the money, or there's taxes and there's lawyers and there's people trying to sue you and everything. When you win the lottery, you win like millions of dollars or thousands of dollars, and you run into these problems, and it's pretty unexpected and everything. And it's too bad. I'm Oatmeal Joey Arnold. Oatmeal Joey Arnold. Okay. In case you don't know, this is a private diary, so don't watch the video. Don't watch the video. Don't listen at all. Stop listening. Okay. So, all right. So I'm just, rambling a little bit too much, but I'm trying to say that with my hard drive, I was trying to erase it. Format it this morning because I wasn't able to restore it. I'm trying to restore it, trying to get the erased stuff to be restored again, undeleted. But haven't been able to do it the last few weeks. So then I started thinking, okay, I'm gonna try to format it. So I formatted it, but then it said it's only like 2 terabytes out of the 4. It's actually not even 4 terabytes. It ends up to be something like, it says 3.64 terabytes. 3.64. It's which company is it? Don't remember. But it's one of those companies, one of those hard drives, and they're probably not the only ones that does it. They round it out. It's kind of like a cereal box that's not totally filled with cereal. You open up the box and the sack is a little bit empty. It doesn't go all the way to the top of the cereal box. That's what the hard drive is like. You think it's 4, but it's actually 3.64. So it's almost to the top of the box, but it's not. I'm using a metaphor, but basically it's like, what's another one? I had another one. Don't remember the other ones. But you can fill in the blank for another metaphor and another illustration to help explain how they do the advertisement kind of thing. Or it's kind of like what I did when I talked about how Kathy stole my bike in Vietnam in 2013, and I said like $200, but it was actually a little bit less than $200. But if you count all the cost and everything, then it's it's worth $200 or something. I just saw the Smoky Man, not the Smoky Man from the X-Files, but the one that lives across the street next to Jesse's house. I think it's that guy, so he goes to the Cornelius Library and smoking a lot, and I sit next to him whenever I'm at the Cornelius Library, and that's too bad. And it's too bad to smoke and stuff, but people have their habits and stuff. Nobody's perfect and stuff, but that doesn't mean that it's okay to do bad stuff just because nobody's perfect and stuff. You gotta try your best and encourage other people, and maybe not put people down all the time like my dad was doing with me. And that was back to the story of what I was talking about. But trying to fix my hard drive, and even after formatting the hard drive, it still said that there was unallocated data. A lot of, like, half of it is unallocated. Like, even though I tell the whole, I tell the computer, I tell the program, Gparted in Ubuntu, to format the whole entire 4 terabyte hard drive. It didn't do it. It says it, but then it says, well, half of it, it's not, and half of it is free, and the other half is not free, but it's not full either. It's like it doesn't mesh in it, but it says it's unallocated. It says that it's unallocated. Teaching myself how to talk. yeah, boy. Oh wait, so okay, all right. So then I try to trade places, I noticed that it's at the last half of the hard drive that had that problem, where it's like totally empty, but not free space. So then I try to put the new partition of the empty space, free space, at the end, and then it started trying to move all the data from the second half of the hard drive to the first half. And it said, okay, it was gonna take like 20 hours or something, like a long time. So then I canceled, and now I'm here.